All right. Hello. Good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila. And I somewhat feel as though I'm kind of, I don't want to say being forced to discuss this, but clearly there are still some people that are having an issue with this. Um, I am not the type of person that likes to repeat myself over and over again. In fact, if I have to continuously repeat myself over and over again, I'll just stop talking completely. To be honest with you, the subject of energy vampirism doesn't excite me. In fact, I'm quite bored with it. But I do realize that there are people out there that are probably still dealing with this issue. I have said more than once that we already cracked the code on it, broke the code on the energy vampirism. In particular, more exciting terms such as destiny stealing, soul snatching. Um, Over here at Divine Services, we already have a ritual for that. Um, but I am gonna break this whole thing down for some of you guys that might just now be discovering my channel. Do I feel that there is some kind of rich elite group that goes around feeding off of people? Yeah, I do. Do I feel as though they can afflict me? No, I don't. Do I feel that this concept, very, very actually, even though vampires date back to the beginning of time, this is still a new age concept that is a failure, essentially. So, do I feel as though they're touching witches and witchcraft? No, I don't. But I do think that what has been incorporated within the craft, because if you look on YouTube, you will see various videos about vampirism and energy vampirism and how to be a vampire. There's even some meditations that you can listen to where you can turn yourself into a vampire. It's and I'm not going to reveal who I am and what I feel that I am, but you know what, maybe I will. Screw it. I feel like I'm almost equivalent to the character of Blade in the movie Blade. Okay. I do feel as though I am like a hybrid. I do have fangs, but I do not feed off of people. Okay. So I'm like the Cullens or some crap. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like it is in a lot of our DNA, actual vampirism, not energy vampirism. Again, this is a new age concept, although necromancy has existed for, I mean, forever, right? Necromancy within itself. But what I feel as though is sort of like an update is an upgrade or an update is that a lot of people that do know about necromancy do need to understand and realize that there are certain spells that people are trying to do, even groups and covens, to where they want to steal people's souls. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. It is an insult to my craft. I do not like it. Because when you think about it, when you truly think about it, and this is just my perspective of it, being that I obviously we all have a shadow side of ourselves. Most of us live and walk within our so-called human side because our shadow side, to me, it is associated more so with your supernatural side and maybe things about yourself that maybe your dark power, and you can either choose which way or the other, right? And so when it comes to energy harvesting, energy vampirism, not only do I think of it as very pathetic, but I think that it is weak. I do not believe that energy vampires have any strength. I do not believe that they have powers, actually. I think that when you actually have to sit down, because, hold on a second. I do readings like all the time. Like I have clients all the time that have this issue with people attempting to steal their energy, steal their souls. And I don't know exactly what demon or entity that they're speaking to about this because I've spoken with Lucifer. I've spoken with Lucifer Satan. Okay. and he's completely in denial about it. As a matter of fact, if you want to consider yourself to be the most powerful being on the earth, this is somebody that doesn't have to feed off of anything. You just can exist based off of light energy. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the most powerful being in the world, which that would describe Lucifer. It would. Okay. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this so-called energy vampire. Again, the subject bores me to pieces. I'd rather be watching a Netflix movie right now, eating cheese balls, to be honest with you, because and I'm not being insensitive to other people's needs, other people's problems, because I realize that a lot of you guys have lost a lot. So I'm not being insensitive. But the reason why I am so very bored with the subject is because there are people still trying to attempt it and still trying to attempt it with me, and it's it's almost like a dried up burnt leaf that's blowing in the wind, that it's kind of like, what the hell is this? So that's pretty much what energy vampirism is. Energy vampirism is when you may see somebody, they may have beauty, they may have gifts, they may have powers, they may have ancestors, they may have things that another person would want. And a person could possibly say, hey, I don't want to have to actually work for a little while to get that. I'd rather take it from somebody else. So it's a form of thievery. And this is something that you have to look out for. And I can tell you that my spirits allowed me to go through it for a little while, just so that I could assist others, and so that I could come from a very understanding and empathetic standpoint when it comes to it, so that I could understand it on a deeper level. So I kind of had to go into deep cover. And, that's kind of how my spirits taught me about that, because it is a very serious thing. There are people who are sick. There are people who are close to having a lot of mental breakdowns, and their energy is gone. They can barely get out of bed. So it is a very, very serious thing. But for me, the one thing that I found out about while dealing with things spiritual is that when you get upset about something, when you get too excited about things, especially when it comes to energy vampirism, then that's the mistake. You can't get afraid of all of that. You can't care like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something about it, right? Do something about it. This is why, unless it's something that, like, I get very upset when people try to mess with children. I get very upset when people try to mess with people that don't deserve it, that haven't done anything to them. I get very upset about that. And sometimes I will go into ritual with this rage, but I always end up transmuting it. So rarely, if I know that there's a situation going on, will I exhibit too much anger over it, because when you do that, it's like they won. Because if somebody can make you angry, that means that they have manipulated you. And I'm not talking about like people that you care about. Like, if somebody that you care about, somebody that means something to you, then you should care. But some person out there that's a complete idiot, that's what I call them, is idiots. Because, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to being a witch, okay, when it comes to being a witch, I believe that my power comes within myself. And so I don't feel the need to go and pull anybody's energy so that I can survive. Okay. That just, to me, for me, I'd rather be dead than have to live like that. That's just my perspective. I do feel as though if you are someone that is exploring the left hand path, I think that it's very, very easy to get connected with certain people that will steer you down the wrong pathway. And I think that this is happening a lot because what those people realize and what they find out is that that's not the way to go. In fact, being that I have a relationship with Lilith as well as the Knicks, those are things that are forbidden to be touched, like a lot of the times. And so it's okay to go after things that are forbidden, but I think that that's one of the things that can truly, truly do a lot of harm to the human soul, the human spirit, the human body. I feel like it can do harm, more harm than good. In fact, I was looking at a video about energy vampirism, and somebody in the comment section made a very valid point, which stated that this is not good because if you do this and you get codependent on it, then your appetite becomes very insatiable. It to the point where it is a need that can never be fulfilled. And that need is never going to be fulfilled. It's not. That, trying to literally suck off of somebody's life force or their energy, there's a lot of blocks on that. And so a person's ancestors or either God or either their guardian angels is going to warn that person. There are some people that are not um, so lucky to have that, but if they know, it's something that they can do about it. So it's a stupid thing to even be a part of. Even if you feel as though those that power that you want is not innate to you, you can get it through outside sources. You can get it through nature. You can get it through a lot of different things. You can manifest it, but actually energy harvesting off of someone else can definitely affect that person. But in probably 99% of cases, that person is not, it's not going to work on that person. Um, and so, this is the reason why I'm bored with it because, it means jack spit is pretty much what energy harvesting means. I mean, the most that you're going to do to a person is you are going to possibly give them insomnia, or you're going to give them a stomach ache. You're not going to actually be able to steal energy from anybody. It's never going to happen. It's not. Okay. I mean, most of the things that we do, like for example, you know, let's say for example, if I decide, oh, I want to order Church's chicken for the night, and I order some Church's with some peppers. Don't y'all just love Church's chicken with the peppers? Church's chicken, they sell the best peppers. I don't know why they peppers taste so good. If I eat a pepper, and that pepper, that energy of that what do they call it, calicupsone or something, capsicum, which is pepper, totally prevents a person from being fed on. So you can actually protect yourself part of the way by just eating a pepper, so it's it's really silly. It really is. Although I still help people with this issue because part of the process of energy harvesting is to get you to have a lot of self-doubt, to get you afraid. They call me crazy because I'm not afraid of anything. So, this is the reason why people contact me all the time because I don't have no fear of nothing. I don't. And I think that I went through a lot, probably around 2005, between 2005 and 2006. I went through a lot, and that was when I had first started tapping into my witchy powers, and I wasn't quite learnt on the situation yet. I was doing it wrong, but still, the things that I went through, taught me a lot. Now, when it comes to vampirism is more so other things that can go with that would be glamour, beauty, lust. Those are the things that and literally not having the same fears that make human beings weak. And I think that in itself is something that vampirism is based upon, not stealing from people. Vampirism is all about the power within yourself. Okay, and I work with Lilith, not all the time. And Lilith is the mother of vampires. So, and so when it comes to energy harvesting, it is an intent that is set. For example, if you're someone that can read the cards real good, or you have these abilities that someone else may want. Like last night, I was looking at a live on YouTube, or not on YouTube, it was a live on TikTok. And this lady, she had the most beautiful apothecary. Did I feel insanely jealous of her? No. I felt inspired by her. And it was such an enriching experience watching her. I mean, her apothecary was just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I was just like, oh my God, So if I were to, become inspired by her, and but not copy her, that would be okay. But a lot of y'all just get driven crazy by people that are just like trying to copy you in some kind of way, or just, you know what I'm saying? Like that within itself, if it bothers you too much, you do need to listen to your intuition, because somebody might be energy harvesting off of you, because there's some people that just don't have much sense. There's some people that are just stupid. They'll say, "Oh, I'm mad. I'm jealous of her." Because I could tell by some of her facial expressions that there were people that were watching that were just like, "Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, this bitch, I want to do this. I want to do that to her. I want to blah 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 blah." And I'm gonna, you know, and you could just tell by her facial expressions. And I was like, oh, poor thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was absolutely beautiful. Her apothecary was absolutely gorgeous. um and just everything about it aesthetically. I think that witches are into aesthetics, absolutely. I think that just the beauty of our rituals and what we do, it is very important. You know what I'm saying? So, and you could tell that. Now I will tell you that she was doing some beautiful things. I don't doubt that she's got some kind of ugly jar that she probably wasn't showing. I don't mind showing my ugly work, my work that looks just like, oh my God, what in the world? Like, yeah, it's sometimes it's necessary. But it's, people are not all the same, and we can't expect everybody to think or to be the same, or to, so there are people out there that will try to energy harvest. They will try to take everything from you. And there's a spell for that, and it doesn't matter, if they're showing out and being weird and all that weirdness. Take care of yourself, take care of it how works to deal with it, and keep it, and keep it moving and live life. You know what I'm saying? The more and the more and the more, then the more and the more and the more and the more that you sit around and you obsess and you obsess and you obsess, that is where the problem is at. You cannot obsess over people like that. And trust me, they know how it works. They want you to think of them. They want you to be in that spirit with them. So, and it's like, I'm sorry, I can't oblige you on that. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go over here and focus on people that did not do that. You know what I'm saying? And we all know the people that thought of a plan, they executed that plan to manifest whatever it was that they wanted. And that's just like if you're in the real estate business and you buy a couple of houses that you're going to sell. You know what I'm saying? If you sell that house to someone, you're not energy vampiring off of that person. It is a even exchange of energy, okay? I have this house for sale. You're going to buy it. I'm going to get the money. You're going to get the house. Everybody's happy. But with energy vampirism, it's all one-sided. You see what I'm saying? And it's very imbalanced. It's very chaotic. It's To me, it's a new age concept. Even looking back in the history of witchcraft, looking back in the history of witchcraft, I don't see it. And that's looking back at known witches that have departed physically but not departed this earth spiritually. They're still here. Okay, these are the monarchs or the archetypes or archetypes of witches, and they didn't do that. So it's to me, I think. And I don't hear enough witches on YouTube talking about this, although I have seen a couple of people do spells of talk against it. But as far as like going into detail about it. Um, but it is a very real thing. And I think that what wears people out is when the spirit has to struggle to keep itself in the person's body. I think that that's where you start to feel uncomfortable, to where you're struggling to hold on to yourself, because I don't believe that they actually get that. If they do, a person would have to agree to that. Even if you were being fed on via a third party, you would still have to agree to it. And most people are not going to agree to that. Um, so with energy harvesting, there's a spell for that. There's several different things that you can do. I personally think that people that energy vampire, they are quite annoying. Um, I don't know if y'all ever saw this show. They actually only had one season of The Baby. It's called The Baby. And I feel that it was actually, that show was like symbolic of energy vampirism if you ever watch it, because there's this baby that it just kept needing so much. And it was just like, it just, I believe it was talking about that codependency. You know what I'm saying? And everybody needs somebody every once in a while, even if it's once a month. I know that when I'm dealing with any man, men have a period and a cycle just like women. I don't care what nobody says. Hey, what's up, one EQL? So I believe that people do need each other people every once in a while, but when it's a constant 24/7 type of, you know, need all the time, every day, all day, every day. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what is it? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you were born an invalid, and you can't take care of yourself. But to me, that's what, how, like, if it's somebody that you have to get out of the bed in the morning, if it's somebody that you have to feed, if it's somebody that you have to comb their hair for them. To me, that is the same as an energy vampire, because they just need and need and need and need and need and need and need. They're not self starters, so to speak. They're not motivated within themselves. They're motivated by outside sources. Like, they can't just, like, for example, tomorrow when I do my readings, or I'll probably do them deep into the witching hour, I'm not gonna need for, I mean, people can inspire me, which, I like to let my spirit guides inspire me, which is why I bought a new oracle deck. I love the new deck. I am going to be doing readings with that deck all the time. In fact, I've been pulling one card per day for myself because it's such a good deck. And so I'll put up a review of this. It's called the Wild Mystic Oracle card set. Like, this is very much worth every penny. I love it. I absolutely love it. Just the book within itself. It's an amazing oracle deck. So I'll be doing some readings with that based upon the interpretations in the book as well as my own intuition for the individual signs. But you know, that when it comes to energy vampires, I don't like to hang around them. I don't like to talk to them. I don't want to be friends with them. I don't. It's just me. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather sit here by myself because I think that the type of person that I am, of course, I'm a teacher of magic. I have students, I have clients that need me either every day or every other day, once a week. That's not the same thing. Okay. We're talking about energy harvesting, and I showed you guys the ritual. I've spoken to you guys about this stupid ritual that they do. In fact, figure candles completely sold out everywhere for a while, to the point where, like, they take a cord and they drill a hole in each candle and they, like, stick a cord through it and they tie it to another person that they want to feed off of. And it is so disgusting. And along with that, this person has to bind themselves to you as if they are your husband or your lover or your wife. It is the most annoying thing ever. It's very annoying. I think that the annoyance of it all is worse than anything, because it's kind of like, who misguided you? God. Yeah, and I think that essentially a person like that, it's like a chain letter. It's like somebody has did it to them, and then somebody has did it to them, and then that person ends up doing it to you. So essentially that person is powerless. They lost all their power. They don't know how to get it back. And it's totally ridiculous. Okay. Or maybe they never had it, maybe they never developed it. I don't know. It always leads to failure. I can tell you that. Okay. Do I believe that there are real vampires on this earth? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, I do. Absolutely. They drink blood. They actually drink blood, either from animals or even humans. Yeah. Do I feel that it is the same thing? Nope, I don't. It's totally a different thing. Okay. But people in their creativity, they created, people can create anything. Think about it. We're all creationists. We can create something. Doesn't mean it's going to be successful. A person can go and create this whole debacle against you. Doesn't mean it's going to be successful. So when it comes to the concept of energy vampirism and energy harvesting, to where they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to suck this person dry, take everything from them, and they're going to be left with nothing. And yeah, I do believe that it can mess up a person's body. So what? So constantly, when something like that is being created, you realize that you have the power to destroy it. That's just like when you're breaking a curse against you. Somebody creates a curse against you, you have the power to destroy it. It just is what it is. You know. So if you notice that it becomes a everyday thing, it's something that you so like I don't know, like I have a tendency to light up my jars, especially when I'm doing some things, especially when we go up towards the full of the new moons or a certain moon or something, or if we're in a certain phase, or if Jupiter moves into Aries or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do work on those days, but something that you have to get up every day and you're like, you can't stand in your own power. That like that person is weaker than you. In fact, they don't even get a third. They don't get anything, but yet they convince themselves and they psych themselves out thinking that they're getting something from you. When in reality, either yourself, your consciousness, the work that you're doing is absolutely stopping that action from taking place. I will tell you this, that I think that it's pretty safe to say that if you are someone that is a Christian that is not considered to be a Christian witch, okay, there's a difference between being Christian and being a Christian witch. If you are a Christian person that's like, oh, I'm just going to be a good little boy or girl and I'm not going to do all of that, I'm not going to learn anything, I'm not going to do any of that, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to live life and I'm just going to be like what somebody told me, that I just had to be ignorant and see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, which, this is something that I kind of feel that way about as well, but I kind of have to. Um, then I feel that those people can absolutely, them and their family can be taken advantage of. If you're ignorant to what someone is trying to do to you, and you're saying, well, God said that I shouldn't light that candle to take my energy back. God said, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, right? I think that they can be um, vulnerable to that. To them, that's their business. Am I going to go around and force them and say, if it's somebody that I care about, I'm going to slap the shit out of them and say, hey, listen, I need you here because according to the Christian concept, this world is the devil's world and you don't actually live until you die and you go to heaven and da 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 da. But, I don't know. I think if you're in your 30s or 40s or even 50s or 60s sometimes, I feel like that's a cop out, especially when you have children, grandchildren on this earth that need for you to have some kind of legacy. So I ain't ready to leave this earth, even though I do feel that I'm going to the fairy heaven. Y'all know how silly I am, how goofy I am. Even though I feel like that's where I'm going, it's not time for me to leave, So I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, screw this world." I'm ready to leave. I don't want to be here anymore, and I'm not gonna take care of business while I'm here. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But some people do. They're just like, I hate this earth and I don't want to be here anymore. And and they say, hey, if I die, I'm going to heaven. And that's their business. Okay. I mind my business. Okay. But I think that if you are a person that, you're like, hey, I don't mind it so much, down here, then you should understand these things that you need to know to survive. And if you're letting an energy vampire make you miserable, then you need to really, like, I wouldn't let any of it make me miserable because none of it is even real. The whole concept of this vampire energy harvesting magic within itself is not even real. And that's the way that you have to look at it. Because if you start believing that, and the fact that you believe that is real is where they got you. Okay. So just understand that the way that you think affects it a lot. Like what somebody that's trying to energy harvest off of me, I'm going to make them feel like they don't exist. You're not real to me. This is not real. Hey, you know, no, I'm not going to do this. In fact, let me ignore this and light my candle or whatever I feel that I need to do and come back, because it's almost like a paradox or something. It's a stupid reality because every time you do spell work, you're creating a portal for some kind of reality to come in. And I think it's important for you to understand your own power in creating your own reality. Otherwise, people will do it for you. Now, how many times have I said this? A million times. I guess I had to say it again, right? It's a reality because you make it a reality, you know? So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about when it comes to energy, vampirism. Um, by the way, go look at those videos that I did. Oh, and another thing is that garlic has nothing to do with it. Like, in fact, garlic will attract energy vampires to you more because garlic is like an attraction herb. It'll attract them to you. So that was something that was in the movies. Okay, even though there are people out there with photosensitivity, there are people out there that have allergies to garlic. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are, a vampire. It's some other kind of condition that they kind of compare to vampirism anyway. But if you feel like, because I know how it feels to have somebody trying to energy harvest off of you, it's quite annoying and it's kind of like that. And it's like, oh, what the hell is going on? It sucks. And I've noticed that it will cause inflammation in the body. It sucks ass. Okay. There's a remedy for that. Okay. I need to get some WD-40. I keep saying I'm gonna get that for my fan. So if y'all hear that annoying noise, yeah. So it just is what it is. Um, there's nothing that shocks me anymore, to be honest with you. When people contact me and tell me about stuff, especially when it comes to this so-called death magic. Death magic is very real. You know what I'm saying? People try, but I believe that it all depends on your relationship with God. And people are bored with the whole God concept because it doesn't seem that there is a God. A lot of people are like, there's no God. But in reality, there is. Okay, there is a God, and I feel that it's your choice to be directly connected. But a lot of people take the God of the Bible as God, and I don't. And I think that when you free yourself from that form of thinking, I don't look at the God of the Bible as God. I look at the God of the Bible as a God. It's a God, but I don't look at that as the ultimate source because all I get from God is love. I don't get all of that. I'm jealous, I'm upset, I'm mad, I'm angry. I'm ignorant because I'm giving you natures and things about yourself, and I made you a witch, and I'm gonna get mad at you because you are a witch. Nah, I don't really believe in that. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, but what I do believe in is like-minded people, being amongst like-minded people. Okay, that's something for sure, but I'm very careful about who I have a meeting or a joining of the mind with because I don't think I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I mean, Taking your energy and your power back from some unforeseen source or area, that's not vampirism. That's taking your power back. There's a difference. So it's very strange, but it is what it is, you guys. And so I'm always here if you guys need me, because nothing is crazy. I mean, I've seen crazy. I've seen crazy. I've seen delusional people. Just today I saw some delusional people. I have. Okay. It just is what it is. Okay. All right. Anyway, hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you do have an issue with someone that you feel is energy harvesting off of you, contact me. I'm not afraid of those people. I mean, basically, what they do is they try to convince you, and it's like the power of suggestion that they can take your power. And I think that if people convince you of that in some kind of weird, off putting way, then they will. They will take your power because it becomes real to you. And that's what makes it real. So now you've got to retrain yourself. Okay. All right, y'all. I will check y'all later. Have a wonderful Friday. Blessings to y'all. Hey, 1EQL. Have a good evening. Bye bye.